Hello, welcome to this Gespie's Atari Stuff video. In this video we delve deeper into the ATW2 expansion card for the Mega ST. In part 1 of this series we installed the card and tested its video capabilities. We also covered the history of the original Atari Transputer workstation. I highly recommend watching that first video before continuing with this one. In this video we look at the IDE interface and install an hard disk via an SD card. We also try out the transputer itself and see what tasks we can get it to perform. Hopefully we will be able to get the included Unix operating system working. Okay, where were we? In the previous video we installed the card in my Atari Mega ST. We gave it a cell battery which takes over the role of the AA batteries in the Mega ST itself. Then we installed the included XVDI drivers which gave us a high-res image on an HDMI monitor. And we also tried booting with the different TOS versions. That worked fine with the original TOS versions. But it failed with EmuTOS. I still haven't got that working. I posted a message on the Atari forum and there I was told it should just work. Perhaps there is something wrong with one of the two ROMs on the card. But now we arrived at the IDE interface. But before we start with that, let's take a look at the following. Because during the installation of the card we had to dismantle my memory expansion module because the original ROMs had to be removed. But now I'm stuck with the loose RAM expansion module. The double-sided tape no longer sticks because the cardboard of the module has torn along with it. And the module was resting on the ROM chips, which are gone now. But I found something else for that. 2 Lego blocks fit exactly between them. But first I removed the old tape. Then I can put new double-sided tape on it. I've also put double-sided tape on the Lego blocks. Then the RAM module can be put back on. There, it's not going anywhere anymore. I'm also not happy with that support bar. It falls off far too easily. So we're going to put some double-sided tape on that as well. That's much better. And there is the back panel. It doesn't fit very well. I see a small protrusion on the slot there. That prevents the top from sliding with the case. So we have to remove that. A light run of a file should be enough. That looks better already. So that fits much better now. Now we're going to install the IDE interface. I bought this micro SD card for this. It was the smallest storage capacity I could find. But the storage is still much more than we'll ever need. A whopping 1000 times more than my Megafile 30. We look up the IDE interface in the manual. It starts with the story how they can't guarantee it will work. We should consider the IDE interface as a nice to have. It also says we might need to format the SD card. It says might, so we'll try without it first. The SD card needs to be inserted into the Nano FPGA board. There is an SD card slot underneath the USB-C connector. It doesn't say how to orient the SD card. I try it this way first. It looks like this isn't the correct side. So we will try it this way. That went very smoothly. Is it even in the connector or is it just underneath? Yeah, I thought so. It's underneath. It's so hard to see. I have taken the card out. So the card slot must be somewhere there. What a hassle. After many attempts, the SD card is finally in. Now for the next step. We need to connect the interrupt pin from the onboard ASCII connector to the board. This patch wire is included for this purpose. So this side is connected, now the other side. So we can now reinstall the board. There is a connection for the interrupt cable on the side of the card. The next step is the IDE jumper. This activates the IDE interface. Now we've completed all steps, we can start testing. Let's see, have we done everything? The interrupt wire is connected. The jumper is set. The SD card is in. And the HD driver disk is in the GEOS drive. Then we can turn it on. I will point the camera at the screen. Okay, it sees an IDE drive. ATA2SD FPGA, that sounds good. And then a C partition. And I have a C drive on the desktop. Now we can partition the disk. For that I start the HD drive utool application. And go to the partition option. The drive is already listed here, that's good. Then I first set the compatibility options, because it only needs to be TOS compatible. That SD card is in such a hidden location that I'm not going to take it out to put in my PC. And now for the partitions. The C partition is the boot partition and that needs to be smaller. I think it has a maximum of 32 megabytes. And then it should be the type gem. The next one can be 512 megabyte. And it should be type BGM. I'll make 2 more of those. Now I only use a fraction of the SD card, but that will be enough for now. It's still too big. Only DOS 4.0, now that's no use to me. Then I set them to half the size. Okay, try again. Starting with DOS 1.04. Yeah, that's good. And done, that's fast. Then I restart the ST now. Aha, drive C, D, E and F. But I don't see them on the desktop yet. but yeah, that will come later. First I want to install the driver on the hard disk itself. And that can also be done with the HD drive utility. It's here, install HD driver. On the C partition. And I restart the ST again. And I've removed the driver disk. The driver is now loaded from the C drive. And that went a lot faster too. And here we have the C drive with the driver. Great! Now the other partitions. And here they are. It all works. Very nice. Okay, the HDMI monitor is reconnected. And now I've installed the XVDI drivers on the IDE drive. And I removed the GX drive and reconnected the original floppy drive. Let's see if the IDE interface and the graphics card can work together. Both drivers are loading. And the HDMI screen is responding. That seems to be working fine. Oh, but that doesn't look good. The desktop has now the same interlacing problems. No, that's not good. And 2 bumps aren't shown on the screen. What are we going to do about this? Okay, I've reinstalled the XVDI drivers on the C drive. Let's see if this shows any change. Until now it looks the same. Yes, the green desktop. Thank goodness it works. That looks good. Look, this is the old auto folder. I renamed it to disable it. And this is the new auto folder. So that one works. That's great. Now that everything works, the case can be reassembled. This plate had to be removed from the shielding. That allows the shielding to be reinstalled. But when I place the top back on, it doesn't fit quite right. There is still a gap. Let's see what's causing this. It looks like this standoff is pressing on the ATW card. So a piece of this needs to be removed. I also remember seeing something about that in the manual. I have just reread it and yes, this piece indeed needs to be removed. So that's it. Bit of a shame, but there's no other way. Now it fits better. But not 100% yet. I think I remove another small piece. Okay, everything is reassembled and connected. This monitor is connected again and this one to the HDMI port of the card. The GX drive is back to drive B. And if I turn it now, it now boots with Xboot. I created a set with all the XVDI drivers. I named it XVDI. And now it boots with that set. And I shortened the wait times of the loading screens. It boots now with this desktop. And yeah, now I have everything ready, it's time to start exploring the Transputer. For that, another driver needs to be loaded in the auto folder. I copy this driver from the Transputer disk. It's FPGA BIOS.tos. So now I can reset the ST. And I'm going to create a new set for it in Xboot. I call it ATW800. With this set I enable the FPGA driver. Save it and boot. Okay, booting the system still works. Now we'll see if the transputer is found. For this we'll start the mupful terminal. Then we go to the bin folder. This tool searches for the transputers. And here it is, the T425C with 40 something. But it works anyway. And now install the rest. For that we go to the public share of the ATW800. Here we see all the files for the card, including Helios. But how do we get this on the ST? I downloaded the files and placed them in the hard drive folder of the ST emulator Steam. I then transferred all those files to floppy images via Steam. That resulted in these 52 image files. I placed them on an SD card and transferred that to the ST. And here we have all those files. These are now on the D drive because the C drive was too small. I copied them from the SD card in the Geos drive to the D drive. And because it's the D drive, I had to edit the profile file. Because the root was initially set to C. And mupful is also there. I'll zoom in a bit. First let's see if the transputer is still found. Ah yes, it still works. Now we'll try one of the demos. That's via iRun. We'll start with an 3D demo. Oh look, well that's nice. That's going smoothly. Time for another demo. I saw that there's also a Mandelbrot fractal on it. Oh, what a strange start. Yes, now it starts the fractal. But yeah, this is going to take a while. And going back further in time, here is the Mandelbrot. What a beautiful colors. And so much detail. I never thought I'd see something like this on my ST screen. But now for the biggest part, Helios, the Unix-like OS for the transputer. There it goes. It's booting. But this part is taking quite a while. Too long in my opinion. Is this going well? It's definitely not going well. It crashes. Oh, it tries again. Maybe it's just a reboot. Oh, but now I see that it had placed two bumps on the other screen. So it must have crashed. No, it's stuck here again. What could be the cause of this? Did I perhaps forget to copy a file? Is it because it's on drive D instead of drive C? Ah, no, there it goes again. And 2 more bombs have appeared. No, stop it. No, it's not going to work. I'm going to reset it. Ah, what a shame. What could it be? Okay, I've checked all the files and yeah, I cannot find anything missing. So maybe it's because it's installed in on the D drive. I've also since understood that it's no longer true, that the C drive needs to be smaller. So I'm going to increase the C drive size so I can install Helios on it. But it does mean everything will be erased, so I have to reinstall everything. So I'm also making the C drive also 256 megabyte. It says it's from TOS 1.04, so indeed there's no problem with the larger drive. Yes, everything's erased, but that's the way it is. Well, that's done. Time to reboot. Now we see the desktop because the video memory isn't erased during a reboot. Because it's actually already rebooting. And now it reboots without the drivers because everything has been erased. And then it gets back to the old desktop. I point the camera at it. But the image is not very good because the light is reflecting quite a bit on the screen. But now I need quickly install the HD driver on the C drive, so I can boot from the hard drive again. Then I have to manually start the HD driver first. And yes, thankfully, it's still found. Now the hard disk utility. And let's install the driver on the C drive. Then restart the ST again. There, I have the C drive again. Now add the other drives. There, then I can install the XVDI drivers again. Done, and restart again. There we have the dancing Atari logo again. Hey, but no more interlacing. And the selection screen is sharp now too. Ah, but the desktop is distorted again. It must have something to do with the loading order. Well, after some fiddling with the drivers, it's working again. I also placed all the files back on. Luckily I still had those 52 floppy images. It was a lot of work, but it's back on. And it is now on the C drive. Well, hopefully it will work now. I'm going to try starting Helios. Uh-oh, it's going to that point again. And it seems to be taking a long time again. Nah, no really? No way. Yeah, right. It crashes again. What a shame. And those two bumps again. Well, yeah, what else could it be? It's on the C drive now. There aren't many options left. But I just keep trying. Yes, it's a shame that Helios won't start. But it's not the end of the world. The graphics card works great, and that was the main reason I bought it. And now that the IDE SDcard also works fine, yeah, and that was the second reason I bought the card. And the fact that I now have TOS 2.06 is also a big plus. I know that Transputer was the main reason the card was designed, but for me, yeah, it was more a nice to have. But I'm also convinced that Helios will eventually work. And when it does, there will be probably a part 3 video. But now we've reached the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and please click the like button and subscribe to this channel. You will be supporting us tremendously. See you at the next Atari video. Bye!